What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So it is Memorial Weekend, so I just want to say thank you to all the veterans out there that proudly serve our country. I truly appreciate all that you've done for this country, and I want you to know that your sacrifices do not go unnoticed. Now, we are going to be having some people over this weekend to celebrate, having a nice cookout. So with that in mind, I did go ahead and pick up a new grill. But the one grill that I've been really considering trying out was a Blackstone griddle top grill. And that's what we got today. So I was looking at the 28-inch version because I felt like that was perfectly sized for my needs. And I did not really want to go as big as the 36-inch version because that is a pretty big grill and I didn't want something too big to have to store and move around. But I was at my local Lowe's store this weekend picking up some paint, and I noticed that they had some Blackstone grills on sale, and they had a special size, which I think was exclusive to Lowe's. It's a 30-inch Blackstone griddle top grill with a hood. So I ended up buying that, and that's what we're gonna try out. So without further ado, let's jump in and let's check out the Blackstone 30-inch grill. Okay, so this is basically what it's gonna look like here. This is the Blackstone 30-inch griddle with the hood. Now, these are available with just a metal cap that basically just sits over top of the griddle. And then when you take it off, you have to hook it on the back. But I wanted one with an attached hood. That way it can lift up and lift forward. And having a hood will help protect the griddle plate even further. Now, this is the 2-burner setup. It does come with 2 foldable shelves. And this has the wind guards over here that are a little bit higher to protect some of the wind from cooling off the griddle plate. And this is that Omni Shield griddle plate as well. I did go ahead and pick up some of the Blackstone griddle seasoning and cast iron conditioner because you typically want to treat this griddle as like a cast iron skillet. We have to season it first. So I have to put it all together, then we're going to have to go through the seasoning process. Now, again, the main reason I wanted to try this griddle is because I've grilled out before on charcoal grills and on gas grills, and I was always fighting the flame. You get some of the grease that drips down on top of the flames. It causes big burnouts and a ton of smoke and just a lot of issues that I didn't want to deal with anymore. So I really like the idea of this griddle top because not only can I cook out your typical foods like your hot dogs and your hamburgers and your steaks and all that kind of stuff, but I can also cook breakfast on here as well and cook pancakes and cook French toast and eggs and bacon and sausage. You can pretty much cook anything you want on this griddle top. But enough talking about that. Let's go in and unbox this and let's get it put together. Okay, so we just pretty much took everything out of the box. It comes in a couple large pieces. So you got your large grill top here. You have your bottom grill portion here. It'll come with your shelf that goes below, and then it has probably your hardware and legs in this box. Okay, so after opening everything up a little further, once you open up the hood on the grill, you're gonna have a lot more parts inside. So again, you're gonna have a box inside with more hardware and wheels. You're gonna have your fold out shelves. Pretty much everything is tucked inside. So let me start cleaning some of this up and putting it together, and we'll be right back. Okay, so far so good. Putting it together is actually coming along pretty easy. It does come with a full diagram with pictures and everything you need to do to put everything together. So far, it's all going together with just one screwdriver. It comes with all the bolts needed. You just have to pay attention to the actual pictures of the diagram to make sure that you have the pieces orientated in the right position to line everything up. But so far, so good. So I got the bottom legs put together. I got the middle brace put on. I got the wheels screwed in at the bottom. Then I have to take this, flip it upside down, and screw it into the bottom of the actual cooking element over there. So again, so far, installation is really not that hard. You just have to pay attention to your instruction manual and you'll be fine. Okay, so we're all done. We got the grill put together. Everything was simple and easy. Everything lined up. You just used the supplied bolts that came with the kit. You follow the diagram. Everything pretty much bolts on pretty easy. You'll have to bolt on these utility clips right here. They just clip on. Then you can lift this up, drop it over. It has these shoulder bolts here that you basically mount in there. That way you can fold your shelves down or lift them up into position, lock it down nice and sturdy. You'll have that on both sides. Again, same thing over here. You have the bolts and the fold down shelf. Just know if you have your tank hooked up underneath, the shelf is not going to fold all the way. Now again, this is the 30-inch griddle. This particular unit is supposed to be the exclusive model to Lowe's because it's available in 30 inches. I actually really like this particular size because it's a little bigger than the 28-inch, but it's not as big as the 36-inch. This right here is a perfect in the middle size for me. It works out great. And again, if we just take a tape measure here, we'll be able to see We're right at 30 inches, so we're good to go. The wheels in the bottom all have these locks that you can push down to lock so it doesn't move, or flip it up and it moves very smooth. So again, this particular grill will move very easily with these wheels, but all 4 wheels have locking buttons that can lock your wheels. Again, the top hood here is attached. It can't be taken off, but it swivels up and down, has this really nice big handle here to grab, so it's really good. And again, everything was pretty simple and easy to put together. Now, if we go ahead and shut the lid and we just pretty much spin the grill around, here is your drip tray on the back. It pretty much just hooks in very easy with this little ledge there. So again, it just hooks up in there real easy. It's contoured right here on the bottom of the griddle to drip down in here. And they do make disposable aluminum drip pans in here that you can take in and out. Sometimes I'll just fold up paper towel in here that'll collect and absorb the grease, and that way I just throw the paper towel away, but either way it works. I'm really happy with the size. I'm really happy with having a little shelf at the bottom. The 2 shelves at either end are nice and sturdy. I like the hood better than just the lift top because the hood stays attached. So the next thing we have to do now is go ahead and start removing a lot of these stickers, and then we'll go ahead and start heating it up, and then we're gonna go ahead and start to season it with the Blackstone seasoning. So let me start getting that prepared and we'll be right back. Okay, so now that we're getting ready to season our new griddle, what you want to do is take a wet rag and wipe everything down first. Make sure, all of that styrofoam and contaminants and stickers are all taken off and removed from the grill and the griddle plate. Then you want to make sure you grab some of this Blackstone griddle seasoning and cast iron conditioner. On the back, it'll actually tell you a little chart of how much to use for each time you try to season this. So what you want to do, turn your griddle to high, get the griddle nice and hot. We're going to glob on a couple tablespoons of the seasoning conditioner, and then we're just going to use our tongs here with a piece of paper towel and just kind of spread it around and really just kind of grease over everything nice and evenly coated. You can see right here how the griddle is like a gray color, but as it starts to get hot, it'll start to turn brown as you're starting to see it right here. So you pretty much want to let this cook on high for about 10 to 15 minutes. Once that whole griddle starts turning pretty brown, then we're going to go ahead and apply our seasoning oil. Once you do a thorough application of that, let it bake on high for about another 15 to 30 minutes. And then once all that smoke, you'll start to see smoke piling up over top of it. Once all that smoke goes away, that's your smoking point. Then we can go ahead, shut the burners down, let the griddle plate cool down. That'll be 1 round. Then you want to go ahead and do that about 3 more times, and then your griddle plate should be properly seasoned. So let me keep working on that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we pretty much should be at temperature. As you can see here, it's starting to change its color. Now, it doesn't always get the color changed to the very edge. I've seen some people take blow torches to that. I'm not too worried about that. But for today, we are at temperature. So again, the color has changed. So now we're going to go ahead and start applying some of our Blackstone griddle seasoning. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and put on a couple globs of this. Then we're going to take our tongs and just pretty much grab a little piece of paper towel like this and just start smearing it around. Now, if you have any kind of heat protection gloves, you can go ahead and use that because this does get pretty hot. But again, you want to wipe the sides real good. Get those edges real good. Be careful you don't splash any of this on you because it is going to be hot. And then you can always take some of this paper towel here that we're using and then just gently rub the sides of the griddle as well. Okay, so we're pretty much good with that. We're gonna let that bake for about a good 15 to 30 minutes. So as you can see right now, it's smoking, which is baking the actual seasoning into the griddle plate. But again, once all of this smoke goes away, we can go ahead and shut our burners off, let this cool down. And then once it's cooled down, we're gonna start this process all over again. And we're gonna do it anywhere from about 3 to 5 times. So let's let that cook out and we'll be right back. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes, and again, as you can see here, there's hardly any smoke left, so that means our first initial round of the seasoning is good. So now we're going to go ahead, turn off our burners, and we're going to let that cool down. Once it cools down to the point where you can maybe touch it without burning yourself, then we're going to go ahead and start the whole process a second time. Turn your burners to high, let it heat up for a good 10 minutes. Once it starts changing color again, then we're going to go ahead, spread our seasoning. Once we're done spreading the seasoning, we're going to let it cook for about another 15-20 minutes. Once the smoke disappears, shut it down, and that'll be round 2. And then we'll do that a third time. Typically, your seasoning should take 2 to 3 times, but I have heard some people say 3 to 5 times. Today, I'm probably only going to do it 3 times and see how it goes. So let's wait till this cools down, and then we'll start round 2. Okay, so as you can see, round 2, the smoke is pretty much almost gone. So we're going to let that bake off about another couple minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and shut our burners down, let it cool down, and we're going to start this process again for round 3. And then by the time we're done with round 3, that should be good enough for us to start cooking on it. Okay, so we finished with 3 coats of seasoning, and now I'm getting ready to cook on it, so I'm just letting it heat back up. So again, it has that nice blacked out look to it. Again, you want to make sure you're changing the color. Now, this is why some people actually use a blowtorch when seasoning their griddle to the very outward edges, because the burners below are pretty much heating up the majority of the middle. They don't always get to the edges. So just know, if you're not going to use a blowtorch, like I didn't use one today, you might not fully have the seasoning around the edges, but over time it will happen. But so far so good. We're going to let that heat up for a little bit, and then we're going to start throwing some meat on here. So I'll be back here in a minute. Okay, so let's see how things are going so far. We have some smash burgers over here, cut up strip steaks over here, some sausage there, some hot dogs there. And so far, everything seems to be doing pretty well. The burgers did stick just a little bit in the very beginning, but I think I just need to season this just a little bit longer or use the grill a couple more times, and then we should be good. But so far, everything's good. Everything's cooking well, and I'm pretty happy with it. So let's go ahead and finish this up, and I'll come back with some final thoughts. Okay, so we're all done. We actually ate dinner. Everything was real good, and it was very easy to clean up. So basically, all I did was after I took all the food off, I used my spatula and kind of just scraped all of the excess food down into the back drain, down into the catch pan. Then I took a wet rag, just like this, and made it real nice and wet, and just squeezed water all over the top. And I just used the spatula to get the rest of the debris down into the drip pan. Then I just took my wet rag here and I folded it up into like a square with my spatula and just wiped everything down real nice and good, and everything's pretty much nice and clean. So again, very simple and easy. Everything's clean. Come around the back. It's real easy to take the drip pan off. Again, everything's cleaned out of there. You're good to go. Okay, so here we are on day 2. We have some breakfast going on. We got some bacon, we got some sausage, we got some scrambled eggs. Everything's going good, and everything is tasting amazing. So again, my overall impressions of the Blackstone grill for a variety of different foods, definitely give it a thumbs up and give it a go. So there you go, everybody. So my overall impressions of the 30-inch Blackstone grill, I definitely give it a thumbs up and give it a go. Again, it's very easy to put together. It's very sturdy. It cooks evenly. Everything was great. It's very easy to clean up and get ready for the next time. The hardest part is honestly just seasoning it, but again, it's not hard. It just takes a little time to do it. So again, I would dedicate about an hour to put it together, and then I would dedicate maybe another hour to get it all seasoned. After that, you're good to go. But what I really like about this grill is that you could cook so many different styles of food. So if you're looking for a grill that can pretty much do everything all in one grill, I highly recommend checking out the Blackstone grill. But that's going to be it for today's video. I hope this video helps some of you out. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button and like this video. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And also do me a favor, subscribe to the channel because it definitely helps me out and I greatly appreciate it. So that's it. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you. I truly appreciate you all. And as always, see you in the next video.